Learning English is not a rocket science. It's a very simple and easy process, but it can be harder if you don't go about it in the right way. While it is important to stick to good practices to speed up your progress, it is equally important to stay away from practices that can sabotage your progress and even your entire learning process. So in this video, I'm going to talk about things you must avoid while in the transition. So if you are learning the language, stay with me for the entire episode. I am Inder and you are watching Shine Anywhere and Everywhere. So let's jump in. First and foremost, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Easier said than done. I know we all are afraid of making mistakes to a certain degree. It's a part of human condition. Just the word mistake is capable of striking fear in our minds. It makes us anxious, indecisive, and overwhelmed. But I wonder, is it possible to learn anything without making mistakes? Absolutely not. So how can you learn a language without ever going wrong? You can't. So if you want to make a consistent progress as an English learner, then you will have to let go of this self-limiting belief. You need to own a different mindset, a mindset that allows you to be brave enough to make mistakes, own them, rectify them, and learn your lessons out of them. In order to develop fluency in the language, you need to have a good range and be able to use a wide variety of sentence structures. And the only way to do that is to play around with the language, make mistakes, collect new insights and experiences in the process. And this is only possible when you stop feeling embarrassed for your mistakes and start accepting them and celebrating them. So change your perspective right away and feel safe to make mistakes. Mistakes are wonderful learning opportunities, not something to be avoided. Being perfect is overrated. The whole point of learning is to make attempts, commit mistakes, fail, and then find lessons in your failures and mistakes. When you set out to learn English, you are full of motivation, enthusiasm, and determination. Springs in the feet, songs on the lips, ready to make a change and confident that it will go perfectly. But as time goes by, reality kicks in. All kinds of obstacles and challenges surface. Now you realize how far away your goal is. Consequently, your goal of achieving fluency seems harder and harder to achieve. You struggle and try to recapture the energy, excitement, and enthusiasm that got you started on the path in the first place. When you can't, you resign yourself to the idea that the battle has been lost and ultimately you surrender. Unfortunately, the scenario is too common. While learning English, we often keep our eyes on the fluency. We just want to become fluent as quickly as possible, which obviously seems an enormous task, impossible to achieve. Here you need to change your approach. Rather than focusing on the end results, you need to focus on the process, habits, and routine. Make English a part of your routine and get into the habit of learning the language. Incorporate the language in your life in such a way that it doesn't feel like studying. Make fun and sports out of it. You don't have to do boring things while learning. The key is to consistently make progress, no matter what you do to sustain it. Your progress fuels your motivation and your motivation drives progress. So it's vitally important to constantly make progress. If you don't, your motivation fades away. And when the motivation is gone, it really becomes difficult to keep the ball rolling. It is very easy to compare yourself with other people and their achievements. We all fall prey to it as we are hardwired to be highly social creatures, constantly evaluating our standing in the tribe. But believe me, it's hard to stay positive, confident, and focused when you go around comparing yourself with the native English speakers or other learners around you. Different strokes for different folks. Everyone learns at a different pace using different techniques. Different things work for different people. Just because your friend now really speaks well doesn't mean you are on the wrong path. So comparison is totally irrational and its implications are damaging. It can lead you into behaving in an illogical manner. You begin to doubt your own competence and capabilities and drain all your energy focusing on the achievements of other people. If you ever want to compare yourself with someone, compare with the past versions of yourself. It will force you to acknowledge how much progress have you made thus far, and it will definitely make you feel proud of yourself and your accomplishments. If you are among one of those people who really want to speak English a lot, but your hesitation holds you back every time you try to jump into an English conversation. So let me tell you that your hesitation, fear, doubt, whatever you call it, is a huge barrier to your progress to be a fluent English speaker. Oftentimes we walk around the illusion that other people are judging us, and our mistakes while speaking English will most definitely make us look stupid. When you worry too much about what other people will think or say if you speak in English, your doubt or fear quickly grows stronger and you find yourself tongue-tied. Here you need to realize and understand that you can't control other people's perception of you or your ability to speak the language. What other people think of you or your language skills is not your business. It's their business, so let them go about it. So stop judging yourself through others' eyes. Instead, remind yourself over and over again that other people really don't care that much. In fact, most of the time, people are supportive and considerate. So one of the key things to remember when you find yourself in this thought pattern is that nobody is going to remember your mistakes when you have an excellent command over the language. So just throw yourself into speaking as much as possible. This is the only way to get fluent in English. You know what? When I was learning English, I didn't pay any attention to my pronunciation skills. I picked up words as they came to me. I absolutely had no idea how pronunciation in English worked. Consequently, I developed bad pronunciation habits. I would sound weird, unpleasant, and unnatural while speaking in English. And it was definitely not what I had worked so hard for. So then what? I started working on my pronunciation skills. But believe me, at that point, I had to work a lot harder to get my pronunciation correct. Reason being, first I had to unlearn the incorrect pronunciation I had been developing for a long time. Then I started from the scratch to build a correct and accurate one. So what I'm trying to say is, do not overlook your pronunciation skills in the learning process. Just keep working on them alongside. Your pronunciation is the key element to your spoken English. This is what people notice first thing when you speak the language. While good pronunciation makes you sound impressive and pleasant to listen to, bad pronunciation on the flip side can make you hard to understand and unpleasant to your listener. Needless to mention, people underestimate speakers with bad pronunciation and sometimes avoid interacting with them. Finally, today we live in an instant gratification driven culture. We want everything to happen at the snap of our fingers, because access to almost everything is just a click away. Information, entertainment, technology, food, comfort. We really don't have to exert a lot of efforts into fulfilling our desires. But when it comes to learning English, you have to resist the temptation of instant gratification. Learning English could be anything, but definitely not something you can pull off overnight. It's a long process, and giving up always seems like the easiest option. So you have to be very careful at every step of the way. Whenever the thought of giving up pop up in your mind, just take a moment and think about all the fluent speakers around you look up to. Do you think they didn't have to go through obstacles and challenges on their way to fluency? They absolutely did. They attained fluency only after they persevered, pushed through, and never gave up. There is no better feeling in the world other than knowing that you faced obstacles and through grit and determination you overcame them and became successful. So when you are down, feeling low, or losing interest in studying English, just remind yourself why learning English is such a great idea for you, and visualize all the amazing experiences and opportunities that will be available to you when you have an excellent command over the language. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, leave a like. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'll see you very soon. Until then, it's Inder. We shine anywhere and everywhere saying goodbye.